Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have an update, and also I decided to kind of put my big girl pants on and tell you guys a story that happened to me kind of recently that is not fun to remember, but I think that talking about this kind of stuff really does intrigue me and kind of make me feel better to know that you guys have also gone through similar things in your life. That way we don't feel so alone, you know? Because sometimes you feel like, I don't want to say you're going crazy, but you're like, did I really see that? Is that really something that is possible? And yes, anything is possible. Even though I am a young woman in her 20s, I am learning time and time again that magic really does exist in this world, and so do spirits. So I just kind of want to jump right into it. So I have some hojicha right here. If you don't know what that is, it's like roasted green tea. I'm a matcha fanatic, okay? Like, I know a lot of people are addicted to coffee. Not I. I absolutely am addicted to matcha and hojicha. So grab your matcha or your coffee, grab some good grub, and let's just get right on into it. So the first thing I kind of want to tell you guys is my coworker Evelyn. Hey Evelyn, I told her I was going to share this story and she was like, go for it. She just started one of her classes recently, and so of course, I don't know if everyone kind of knows this as like the typical college experience, but a lot of times everyone is expected to introduce themselves in front of the whole entire class, which a lot of people aren't really fond of. I used to get anxiety doing it. Like, why do I have to tell complete strangers that are only here trying to get a degree just like me, like, interesting facts about my life, right? But it is what it is. So she ended up introducing herself to some of her classmates. They were mixing and mingling with each other. And of course, the topic of, oh, where do you work came up. So my coworker Evelyn told her new friends, oh, I work here. And she ended up saying where we work. And her new friend kind of just got quiet and was like, oh, yeah, my mom used to work there at that old building. And Evelyn said she kind of sensed the awkward energy shift, you know? And she was like, yeah, it's we think it's haunted. And her new friend was like, oh my god, thank god you said that, because my mom used to work at that same exact building. And Evelyn was like, oh my god, tell me more, right? And so she ended up telling Evelyn that, I don't know if you guys remember, but remember when I said that the whole entire table shifted? That was like what used to be the cafeteria or auditorium when it used to be an elementary school. So I think it was I can't remember if it was a police station first or after, but it used to be a police station and an elementary school. So that huge area now is kind of like vacant. And so we still go there because in order to get to the basement of the building, we have to pass through that auditorium and cafeteria area. So this new friend that Evelyn made told her, yeah, my mom used to work there, and when I would visit her at work, I used to get the heebie-jeebies going to that auditorium area. And Evelyn was like, are you serious? And she said, yeah, like, I hated going in there. I never like saw anything, but you just knew something was in there with you. And that's when Evelyn proceeded to tell her that that is where her and I witnessed the whole entire heavy table shift on its own. And that's when we like booked it. We like booked it out. So that's kind of like clarification that not only do our current coworkers believe in that, but that building really does have a reputation. And what this girl was telling Evelyn was that she believes that it kind of got that reputation when it was a police station, because they used to like hold people there, like, you know, in cells, and people who were suspected of doing, you know, crimes and bad things. I mean, why else would you be at a police station? But again, wherever there's conflict in human lives, there's a lot of times negative energy, and that residual energy could still be there to this day. But what I kind of am curious about, and let me know what y'all think, is the little girl that everyone keeps seeing. we don't know who she is. So my coworkers and I are still trying to figure out how we are able to get like records of any potential children that died there, but that'd be kind of difficult to pinpoint because a lot of times spirits go back to places that they felt comfortable in. So what if this little girl died, you know, I don't know, elsewhere, but since she was small when she died, she just happens to go back to where she probably spent a lot of time, which was school. Again, we don't know, but I just thought that that'd be kind of like a cool update to give you guys. I know it's not much of an update, but it's somewhere like, yeah, that place is haunted. Another thing is I told you guys that I needed to take a break due to like personal reasons, and I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but I had a pet bunny. That was my pride and joy. His name was Cornelius. That was my baby, okay? I had him for quite a while, and he ended up passing away. And the way he passed away was so sudden, so unexpected, but looking back now, it wasn't as unexpected as I think it is. And I'll get into that and, you know, kind of clarify what I mean by that. But my boyfriend at the time was stationed in Minot, North Dakota. So it's kind of like a really small town in the middle of nowhere. And I say small town because born and raised in Las Vegas. So anything smaller than that is a small town to me. And so I ended up flying up there and spent quite a bit of time with him. And before I ended up leaving, I have a treadmill downstairs and I absolutely love working out. So up until I left, I was still working out on my treadmill. And when I tell you this, to this day, I don't know how to describe it. Well, first, what had happened was I was upstairs in my room and I was home alone. My mother went to go pick up my sister from her clinicals, and I was walking out into the hallway and I passed by my parents' master bedroom, and I saw from my peripheral vision what was a little boy standing at the end of my parents' bed. And I saw it, and it was like a little blonde boy, and he had like on a red shirt, and I saw it from my peripheral and I was like, am I really seeing this right now? But again, I was like, I'm home alone. I'd rather not look at this directly. I don't even want to give it attention, whatever this is. I'm just gonna go. So I ended up just going downstairs and going with my dog and Cornelius and just chilling, okay? I was freaked out, okay? But from what I can see, it was like a 7-year-old boy, blonde hair, Caucasian looking, and like a striped red shirt, like collared, okay? So that's what I could tell without directly looking at him. So fast forward to me working out. I like to get cardio at least like 5 times a week, and you know, I just like to do them. You already know the 12-3-30 challenge, but I like to jog, you know, on my treadmill, and the treadmill is in our guest room. So after I usually jog, after every time I jog, I invert myself on an inversion table to kind of get like a full body stretch, help my back posture, yada yada, you get the gist. So after I did my little workout, I inverted myself, and I walk out of the guest room and into the downstairs hallway. And the downstairs hallway has a full-length mirror. And so if I'm standing in front of the mirror, I can see directly behind me, which is the guest room. And I can see the front of, you know, our treadmill, and I could also see the end of the bed in the guest room. And tell me why that little boy was behind me. He was behind me, and I could see him in the mirror. And I saw him more clearly this time. A little boy with a bowl cut, okay? He had blonde hair, and he was wearing like a kind of like a baggy red and navy striped shirt that had like white on it. He was collared. He was wearing like tan shorts. Kid looks straight out of a 90s movie, okay? That's the only way I could describe him. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, I don't recognize you. And why are you here? And I didn't feel anything bad, but something just overwhelmingly uncomfortable. So I literally look at him And I don't even want to turn around, but I'm like, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone. So I just go straight into the kitchen and just drink water. I was like, I've seen the same thing twice in a row now, and I don't know what that means. And I don't know who he is. He can't be a family member. None of my family members look like that. And I'm Chicana, so like no one in our family looks like that, or anyone that has passed away looked like that. So I was like, this looked like a little like blonde hair, blue eyes little boy. Like, I don't know who he is. And he just had the most straight face and just he wasn't even staring at me. He was just there, if that makes sense. So I was thinking to myself, is he from my job? Was he like a child that went to school there? I don't really know. So fast forward, I fly out to Minot, and then that sock thing happens where the sock like flipped right before I left. And then on the plane ride back in my layover in Colorado, my bunny suddenly died. So my theory is that maybe this was like I don't know, like a messenger of death. I can't really tell you, honestly. You guys let me know what you think. It was terrifying, honestly. It was very terrifying. And I haven't seen that little boy since. So I was talking to my mom's friend recently. She invited us over for un cafecito and, you know, para chismear. No, we don't know chisme up in here, but like, you know, we were just catching up with her, and she has always known I was very spiritual. And we got on the topic of death, because a lot of death has happened in my family with our animals and with our family members. It's been really rough. But my mom told her best friend that I seem to see things before something happens. And I don't want to manifest that, but recently, before there's been a death, I see it. Like, I see things that I don't usually see in the house, whether it be a shadow or a spirit I legit don't know. Just weird things like that. And I always get this really weird feeling, and I always let my family know, hey, I'm feeling a little weird. So she told me that she completely believed me, and the reason being is when her father passed away, she used to live in our same neighborhood, and she used to live like literally like behind us in the next street over. And her backyard was actually connected to, at the time, a desert area of our neighborhood. So it wasn't used yet. The desert area was not free land. It was owned by someone, but it was literally like the Wild West, if that gives you a good idea. You always see wildlife there. You could hike there. It was a little dangerous at night because pack of coyotes would literally, you scream and hunt, like you would hear them. And she loved it. She said she would get on her balcony on the second story of her bedroom, and she would look outside, and she would be able to see like packs of coyotes, like their eyes gleaming back at her in the middle of the night. And she loved it. Like, now that area is a park. They used it and created a park and like a little jogging area. But with that being said, like, we don't see as much wildlife anymore. Kind of sad, but kind of like, oh damn, you know? But she said that that night that her father died, I believe he died in Mexico, she said that it was unbelievably still. And she didn't think anything of it other than the fact that she was very uneasy and uncomfortable. And she said the curtains around her windows, her open windows, were kind of moving, and she knew someone was in the curtains. And she was like, you know, I know that sounds bizarre. I'm like, no, I believe you. And she said it was as if someone was in the curtains looking at her, but she couldn't see them. And she just felt it. And she looked out into the vast desert. Everything seemed unbelievably still. And I don't know if you hear like stories like this about like SWs. I don't want to say it because those are terrifying. If you know what I'm talking about, referring to, it's in a lot of indigenous lore, those creatures that even if you say their name, you could conjure them. And I live again in Las Vegas, which is occupied indigenous land, and weird things happen here, believe it or not. One of my friends, he was stationed at Nellis and he saw something. So if you guys want to hear about that, let me know. But that being said, we don't know that thing that she felt that night, what it was. She didn't really see it, but she knew it was like heavy and dark and kind of like peering at her. And she had trouble like sleeping that night, and then the next morning she had gotten word that her father died in the night. Very, very weird, okay? So those are the stories I kind of wanted to share with y'all about my job, the haunted, infamous job that I didn't even know about, and the little boy spirit I saw before my beloved child passed away, and yeah, my mom's best friend's story about the sensations we feel before a loved one passes on. So if you kind of have like stories about seeing things or weird dreams or apparitions before a loved one has passed on, or you hear a story and someone else confirms it, I would love for you guys to send me them on Instagram, and then give me permission if you'd like and if you're comfortable with to share them, because I really want to get back into YouTube, and honestly I really love hearing your guys' stories. So all in all, stay safe. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and week, and thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for your love and support. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment anything you'd like down below, and if you want to go on this weird paranormal journey with me, feel free to subscribe. And until next week, thank you and love you guys. Talk to you later.